very thin and frail right now, and I'm afraid that they would knock her down and it would be very harmful. You know, we're fearful for our neighbors, we are fearful for ourselves. I've asked to file a complaint, sign a complaint, and I don't know what else to do. Well, you know, we're going to be forced to protect ourselves in some way, and these dogs are probably going to be hurt. And if our dog gets hurt, there's going to be a broken-hearted girl that lives in our house, and I'll be a mad mama, he'll be a mad daddy, and it's just, it's going to get ugly. The home to the north of us is the one that is where these dogs apparently live, and that's where that picture was taken. It is a rental property, and the fence is not in good repair.
You talked to the landlord, by chance?
After my first incident, she talked to me.
Yep.
Nothing done there? Nothing finished or anything?
That we were told she couldn't.
We
do
were
anything
told to
about
call the police.
Who's the landlord?
it. Sledge.
What kind of
That's
dog was
sledge.
The brown and white one looks like a pit bull, and the sandy colored one is wide chested. It could be a pit mix.
They're a little bit at the high bottom of this table, well toned.
Do we have anything?
But I wanted you to have the documentation. I'm real big on writing down an incident after it happens so that I do not forget anything. But I wanted you to have that. I also wanted you to have the pictures because I'm tired, I'm mad, I'm tired of worrying about my children. Yeah, my kids are adults, but I'm tired of worrying about my children coming in and out, going out to their car, getting something. I'm tired of worrying about my neighbors. We've warned our neighbors that have little dogs as well. Watch out for them. We just feel like our hands are tied at this point.
We've been there 19 years now, and we've had other dogs in the yard, backyard as well. You say something, do something, they'll run out.
And we've had
Not
wonderful,
with these two.
and we have had wonderful relationships with the people down our street. We've had nothing but positive relationships until this situation.
When we have issues like this, like the speeding and going through stop signs, things like that, we've upped the police enforcement on that and followed up, and what is required is we're gonna have to up our attention to this area. So I think it sounds perfectly reasonable.
Is there a specific time? Does it happen more in the morning, afternoon?
It's all
Just
ours.
random?
All the time.
Yes.
The two I had, one was, you know, probably a little bit before dusk, you know, there before Thanksgiving. And this other one was around 3:30.
So the city ordinance, Tina, what is the ordinance on the dogs for?
Leash law, I mean, they have to keep them up, and if they harm someone, or they can be deemed by the judge, correct, as dangerous.
Are you willing to allow her to put a trap cage in your yard?
Do you have dogs in your backyard?
Our doggie stays in the house.
Okay, so if there was a trap in your backyard, it would be okay?
That way she has a dog that's captured and it gives her evidence that the dog's there when she's not cruising the neighborhood.
What do you think about that, Tim? Because
You don't want to dig up?
I know we've talked about it. that
Right,
Can't always see them when you get to
right,
whatever.
because we were,
trap
last
would be great.
incident, we were on Carter Street when the call came out, so we were immediately there, and they had contacted the owner before we got there, so when we got there, they were not out. And if I can't see them, Mr. McVeigh can
Put a
verify,
trap.
I can't ride them if I don't see the dogs out, but they can sign a complaint,
Right.
but no one has ever
So,
wanted to sign a complaint.
So is
I'm
this
sorry,
an
what was
instance in
that?
which,
We've offered to let you sign a complaint.
I said twice on Monday, December 28th, I wanted to file a complaint or sign a
And I
complaint.
told you that you could.
Where was it? You didn't tell me the process that I needed to go through.
I did, I told you that we could give you a paper and you asked us if we would just go talk to them. And I asked you what, because I have never seen the man's dogs. I mean, they've never been out when we were there. I can't identify them if I've never seen them.
Well,
And I've never seen pictures.
let's do a trap.
Okay.
Can we get that there tomorrow? That way,
Go start.
yeah, to start, and a complaint would be more solid right there, and then just filing a complaint, and then.
Hard to
Hard to
argue
print,
if the
yeah.
dog's not there if we got.
Are y'all okay with the trap in the backyard? Is it more the backyard?
The first instance, that was on the street, started on the street, with that first one I had.
The first incident when they came through the fence was in our backyard. They came through the backyard at our daughter. The second time, when I took that picture right there, I was in my backyard and the dog was snarling and snapping at me through the fence.
Where do you think the best place for the trap would be?
Probably in our backyard.
Should we put one in the front too?
It's a humane trap. It has a door. Once the animal goes in to the bait, it'll close on the animal, and you need to contact her. And don't mess with it.
Should we put one in the front and the back?
Terry, is this an instance where taking a picture of the dogs running loose, and then they bring the picture up here and sign a complaint?
Sure.
And then we can take it, that way we have evidence that the dog is out, and, by a picture, so that can start that process as well.
But also, if the trap works, that's pretty good evidence.
Yeah, that's good evidence too.
Well, I mean, the day that the dog was snarling and snapping at him, I was scared, I was frozen.
It's a big dog.
Yes, and I had called the non-emergency number one time and asked for a police assistance. 7 minutes later, I look at my phone, I haven't get any response, and I call again, and the dispatcher said, "You've already called once," and hangs up on me.
When did you call?
Yeah.
It was December 28th,
They hung up on you? What
the
time?
second time.
That was around 3:30.
We can figure that out.
Well, we have the gun, that shoots the darts, but we've not really ever put that, we actually have two. We've never put that into effect because we don't have the vet.
Give the prescription.
What's y'all's address?
1928 Dalton. And it would have been real easy to have heard the dogs barking, but especially that one while she was on the phone, talking.
We're gonna check into that for sure.
This is about 3:30 in the
appreciate
afternoon?
that.
Yes, sir.
Is that
I mean,
about
we
time
have tried
both calls made?
we've tried to
Yes.
handle this with our neighbor initially, we extended friendship when they first moved in. I took cookies over, tried to, give them my phone number, try to welcome them to the neighborhood and be a good neighbor. Then after this first incident happened in June, you can read in there, I was bashed horribly on Facebook, who cares? But, it's not a real place. But, our concern was our child, and she's still scared to go in the backyard.
Is
She's
the rest of your yard fenced?
It's not a secure fence,
It's
but
not
there is
secure.
fence.
Yes,
Is that fence yours or the other houses?
That wooden fence you see
Is theirs.
goes to that house.
And is it on the property line?
yes,
I mean,
yes.
so there's not an offset or anything?
Well, we'd appreciate if you would keep us informed on if these measures work and the way we can continue to build on this, because we don't know unless you let us know. So I appreciate you being here.
As I said, I appreciate you listening to us. We did reach out to Jake McEwen, and I know Jake reached out to you, Bill.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Okay, but I know he said he was gonna talk to somebody else, so.
First I've heard of it.
Oh, but, anyway, we just felt like we needed to be heard, and, I appreciate your time and listening to us, and we do appreciate what you do.
We'll try real hard to get this
Yeah.
resolved.
Yeah, and then if the dogs do come out and we're gonna get the trap and they don't make it in there, did you say you called the owners of the dogs before and they wrangle them up and get them in?
Yes, and that's exactly what happened.
Let's not, I
I won't contact him
photos
again.
again.
Because when I asked him, I said, "Are these your dogs?" When I described them, I asked him 4 distinct times, and he would not respond.
Okay. So just call us, cause
Photos too.
photos, yeah.
Let's do something.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, it won't take 5 minutes, I promise. Okay, I know you gotta go. Okay. All right, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, make a motion to adjourn, and then we need a motion to go into closed session.
Motion to go into closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There? There? Scott?